Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Tuesday, November 28th, 2023. 2 people were killed in a traffic collision Thanksgiving morning on Old Woman Springs Road, and the details and location of the crash are nearly identical to a fatal crash a few days earlier. On Thursday at around 11 a.m., the CHP reports that a 58-year-old man from Phoenix was driving an Audi northbound on Old Woman Springs Road, south of Olivine Road. A 72-year-old man from Wofford Heights was driving a Lincoln southbound on Old Woman Springs Road, north of the Audi. The CHP says that the driver of the Audi crossed over the solid yellow line into the southbound lane, colliding with the front of the Lincoln. After the crash, the Lincoln became engulfed in flames. Both drivers were pronounced dead at the scene. The San Bernardino County Coroner's Office has identified one of the deceased as William Stewart, 58, from Phoenix, Arizona. A passenger in the Lincoln, Pamela Alvarez, 67, also from Wofford Heights, suffered major injuries and was transported by helicopter to Desert Regional Medical Center. The crash is still under investigation. Alcohol and/or drugs did not appear to have been a factor. The identities of those killed in the November 20th collision on Old Woman Springs Road in the same area have been released. At 8:35 a.m., the California Highway Patrol reports that a Jeep Cherokee driving southbound on Old Woman Springs Road north of Olivine Road in Landers bypassed another vehicle over double yellow lines, colliding with a Kia traveling in the northbound lane. The CHP identified the driver of the Jeep as Josie Stijapovic, a 39-year-old from Hellendale, who suffered from major injuries. The driver and passenger of the Kia were both killed and have been identified as Anthony Parra, 36, of Joshua Tree, and Alyssa Parra, 33, of 29 Palms. Alcohol and/or drugs are considered to be factors in this incident. The investigation is ongoing. A woman was arrested for allegedly attempting to kidnap a 9-year-old girl in 29 Palms last week. Here with more is online news editor Robert Hayden.
On Monday, November 20th, county sheriff's deputies reported that Jennifer Penaflor, a 44-year-old resident of 29 Palms, grabbed a 9-year-old girl playing with a friend in the front yard of a house in the 6000 block of Smoke Tree Avenue. According to deputies, Penaflor grabbed the victim by her hand and forcibly pulled her away from the house before the father of the victim intervened and detained the suspect until law enforcement arrived. Deputies confirmed to Z107.7 that Penaflor had no prior relationship to the victim. Jennifer Penaflor was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and booked into the Morongo Basin Jail on $80,000 bail. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Robert Hayden.
Tonight's regularly scheduled meeting of the 29 Palms City Council has been canceled. The council will not meet tonight and will meet next in regular session on December 12th at 6 p.m. The Yucca Valley Planning Commission will meet tonight with a short agenda. During the department reports, they will discuss the need for sidewalk sale regulations and receive the land update report. The meeting is at 6 p.m. in the Yucca Room of the Yucca Valley Community Center and will be live streamed. The public is welcome. For a link to the Zoom meeting, see this story at Z107.7 FM.com. County Supervisor Don Rao and County District Attorney Jason Anderson are hosting a public safety meeting tomorrow afternoon in Joshua Tree. The purpose of this community meeting is to learn about DA operations and to give members of the public an opportunity to share their concerns about public safety matters. This event is open to the public and will be held at the Joshua Tree Community Center, located at 6171 Sunburst Street, from 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Yucca Valley tree lighting is happening tonight at the Yucca Valley Library. It starts at 5 p.m. with coffee and hot cocoa, and Santa will be there for the official lighting at 6 p.m. sharp. That's at the Yucca Valley Library, right off Highway 62. The National Weather Service gave the Morongo Basin its first freeze warning on Sunday morning. With temperatures dropping below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's a good time to think about preparing your house for winter, especially if you're one of the many homes that run a swamp cooler. Thermostat watcher Robert Hayden rejoins us with some evaporative cooling tips for the cold months.
If this was your first summer with a swamp cooler, you were probably pretty pleased with how cool it can get your house, at least on low humidity days. Unlike air conditioners, which use a sealed cooling system and don't require much maintenance between seasons, a swamp cooler is hooked up to your water and is susceptible to some cold weather damage if not properly prepared. Locating this tap and turning it off is the easiest and perhaps most important step in preparing your swamp cooler for the cold months, as the feed lines can easily freeze and burst, leaving you with a leak on your roof and a lot of wasted water. Getting a swamp cooler cover and firmly attaching it to survive the murder winds is a great way to keep the wind and water out, and temporarily blocking or insulating your swamp cooler's interior vent is a simple way to keep the coziness in when it becomes time to flip the switch on your thermostat to heat. There are plenty of businesses that will do all this for you in the Morongo Basin, but if you're the DIY type, these basic steps can keep your swamp cooler winterized and out of mind until those temperatures start creeping back up in spring. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.
And finally, the Yucca Valley High School Lady Trojan basketball team struggled finding their rhythm for most of their game yesterday, but made some big plays in the fourth quarter and came home with a 44-40 victory over Aquinas High School in a first-round game at the Redlands East Valley High School tournament. Junior Taylor Monroy scored 8 points in the final quarter, and sophomore Tegan Moon sank 2 free throws with 14 seconds remaining in the game to put the Yucca girls up by 4 points, sealing the win. Senior Cadence Tarrant scored a team-high 13 points, Monroy added 12 points, and junior Cece Gilmore was solid, scoring 9 points. Junior Tori Simpson was a spark off the bench with her rebounding and defense, along with scoring 4 points, and Moon also finished with 4 points. The win improved the team's record to 4-1 on the season, with a second-round tournament game against Serrano High School next on the schedule for Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear news happening, let us know about it. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.